Hello everyone, welcome to One Connected Love. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Christina.
And we're true twin flames in union. And today we're here to bring a interesting topic that was in our comments. Someone asked us to make this video, and that is how to protect your sexual energy. So before we get started today, we're going to talk a little bit about twin flames and why they're created, and then we'll go from there into protecting your sexual energy. So twin flames, we've mentioned this in the past, are created as two whole souls, and they're made from the same spiritual blueprint, so therefore they are one consciousness because they come from the same source. So they are created for each other, to be each other's best friends, their perfect partners, their perfect teacher, and ultimate lovers. The purpose of twin flames is ascension. It is for the healing and purging of your consciousness so that you can ascend, and as a result of your ascension you get to be together as best friends, as perfect partners, as teachers, as ultimate lovers to each other. So that is what twin flames are, and we can go ahead and get started into how to protect your sexual energy. But first we're going to talk about why should you protect your sexual energy.
This comes up a lot, especially as people talk about their twin flame being with someone else, right? Their twin flame not being faithful, or not not actually like being attracted to them, that kind of stuff. That's how this topic comes up a lot, as we see people discuss twin flames. I think that why you should protect your sexual energy is because it's extremely valuable.
Yes.
It's extremely sensitive, and I think that society today, has a lot of varying ideas about, how sexual energy is used. But, the truth is that your sexual energy is very potent and it's very valuable.
Yes. And in terms of twin flames, it's a very sacred energy. Another reason why you should protect your sexual energy is because it's really only designed to be for your twin flame. And that it's sacred in that way. Like Christina said, it's something that's special, it's sacred, it's valuable, and everyone has their own twin flame.
Right. Yeah, it's something that it's something that's only meant to really be shared with your twin flame.
Right.
And that goes, by the way, that goes for both parties. Like, it's not it's not just like only the divine feminine needs to protect her sexual energy.
Right.
It's this goes for both parties, that like you need to, it's really important to properly value and properly honor and protect your sexual energy.
Right. Good.
Yeah.
One other reason that you should protect your sexual energy is because other people are, even though they, may act like it, they are not entitled to your sexual energy. Your sexual energy is yours. Again, it's sacred, it's private, and it is just meant to be shared between you and your twin flame. Everyone has their own twin flame that they share their sexual energy with. And people aren't entitled to your energy.
Yeah.
Good. So now I feel like that's pretty good, and that covers that. We can go ahead and move forward into how to protect your sexual energy.
Yeah. Yeah, here it's really about your intention, right? I want to be really clear that when we talk about this topic, that it's not about imposing rules on you, or or on yourself, or any kind of shame or blaming for another person's choices. I want to make that really abundantly clear. This is about taking a personal journey of loving yourself into what feels best and most appropriate and safe for you.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's really about an intention and a choice, right? we've mentioned in the past that the choices that you make create your reality. And, the twin flame journey is an inner journey first before it's an outer journey. And the inward choices that you're making in your core create your reality. Well, the same thing goes with your sexual energy. And again, like Christina said, this is not about shame, it's not about blame or any of that sort of thing. It's just about looking at what choices are being made with your sexuality in your life or in yourself that is not respecting, or I guess you should say not honoring the sacred nature of your sexual energy.
Right. Yeah. And so a lot of places where people like unintentionally, give away their sexual energy is in feeling like they, they receive attention or that they feel like they have to because people kind of bid them for it, you know? It can be as subtle as I don't know, seeing somebody like attractive and like flirting with them very subtly. You're engaging in like, an interaction there that's not truly honoring, not truly keeping your sexual energy within your union.
Right.
And this isn't about it's not about like restricting yourself, but rather it's about like honoring yourself and honoring your union.
Yeah, and I think that ties well into the next point, which is being mindful about what is appropriate for you in terms of your sexual energy. And that can only come through inner clarity and inner guidance. And you only get that inner clarity and inner guidance through inner healing work, right? So, Jeff and Shaleia have this saying that they say that the things that you were attracted to, or the things that you felt served you in the past may no longer serve you once you heal. And the more that you heal inside, the more clarity you gain about yourself. And the things that used to be okay for you could change over time. But the important thing is that you're letting your inner guidance lead you.
Right.
And there's a difference between physical sexual pleasure versus what feels appropriate and like good on the inside, right? In your core, really. Yeah, so that's one thing, is to pay attention to how you feel on the inside, even with little flirtatious, things like Christina was saying.
Yeah, and it's, it's a journey that you take personally, right? And it's something that, like Daniel said, like you're checking in with yourself to see how it feels, right? And it might be something where like you just check in and you're like, I feel like maybe that like it doesn't actually really feel good to like engage in this interaction this way. I think I'm like unintentionally like sending a message that I didn't intend to send, or like it makes me feel a certain way, or and that's where it's just important to gauge your feelings, because what's appropriate for you at different phases in your life is gonna feel different as you go along on your ascension journey. You're gonna become more sensitive.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Good. So one thing I want to say about like healing is that another way in terms of like filling out what's appropriate for you is, and going back to the point where like people aren't entitled to your energy.
Yeah.
Something that you can do to protect your sexual energy is to set appropriate boundaries for yourself.
Yeah.
And in a space that doesn't feel comfortable or doesn't feel good to you, or you feel like someone isn't entitled to your energy, someone that isn't your twin flame, you can not feed into their energy in any way. You don't have to give any attention to it. You don't have to be aggressive, but you can just simply not be open to it. And you can set an inner boundary, which is, it's just like
it's
setting the boundary. It's a choice.
Yeah.
And closing yourself off to that energy. And that really helps you protect your energy and keep your sexual energy in your union.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's, it's really about honoring yourself. And like, you don't have to worry about hurting somebody's feelings, right? Like, I think a lot of times, like, people get into this space where somebody, is like wanting to like engage in a flirtation or something, and you're not interested, and maybe you feel like you need to be polite. You don't really need to worry about that.
Right. And actually, if you're setting boundaries with someone that isn't your twin flame, you're not only honoring yourself, you're also honoring their sexual energy, because again, they have their own twin flame.
Exactly.
And you're showing them that this isn't like, this doesn't feel good to you, but also they should be directing their energy at their twin flame.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I guess like the core of it for this piece is I just want to say that like, it's really about developing a relationship with yourself and getting clear about what feels good and appropriate for you.
Right. And the deeper you go, the clearer that becomes. The deeper you go in the relationship with yourself.
Exactly.
Another thing that you can do to protect your sexual energy, if you feel like you have a lot of sexual energy, you can channel your sexual energy into creative endeavors or your life purpose.
Yeah.
Creativity is the same thing as sexual energy. It's creative energy, right? So channeling that energy into creativity can also is also a way of respecting the energy and honoring the energy and keeping it in your union.
Yeah. Yeah, and not to mention that, like, especially if you're moving through separation, focusing on your life purpose is extremely attractive to your twin flame.
Yes.
Because your twin flame, is meant to share in your life purpose with you. How that looks for your particular union. Maybe you're meant to do the same thing together, or maybe you complement each other, or they just support you. Either way, you're meant to, life purpose is a huge part of your union. And when you channel your sexual energy, your creative energy into your life purpose or any creative endeavor, it's really attractive to your twin flame because you're keeping your energy within your union, and you're also like, you're also supporting your union. You're like, putting life into your life purpose.
Right.
Yeah.
Good. And I feel like the closing point with one more thing I want to mention on how to protect your sexual energy, going back to like feeling into what's appropriate for you. The best way to deepen that relationship with yourself and to get clarity there is through using the mirror exercise. You can get clear on, what doesn't feel good sexually and what does feel good sexually. And any upsets or blocks that come up inside of you, you can clear them out with the mirror exercise and love yourself, in that space. And every time you heal, you gain more clarity and more peace in that space. And that will be, the same feeling that guides you on into what is appropriate and what's not appropriate for you.
Yeah.
Good. Do you have anything else?
That feels complete to me. Yeah. I think, this really is just about developing a deeper relationship with yourself and honoring your boundaries, honoring yourself.
Good. All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed this video, and we hope that it helps you on your journey. If you like content like this, feel free to like and subscribe to our channel. Once again, we're Daniel and Christina, and we are Ascension coaches. We do private coaching, group coaching, and personal readings. If you're interested, you can see our services at our website below, oneconnectedlove.com. And as always, thank you so much for watching our video, and we'll see you next time. Take care.